Academy Award-winning actor Richard Dreyfuss spoke to the LaJolla Golden Triangle Rotary Club on October 14, 2011 regarding the Dreyfuss Initiative Foundation and its efforts to improve civics in our educational system. This is part 6 of a roughly 50-minute talk.
And I spent 50 years doing something I adored. Then I remembered that there was something else that I adored, which was my country. And so I stopped and I went back to school. And I developed this curriculum, which I will apparently have the right to own, copyright, patent, whatever you call it, IP. I personally think that's kind of silly. But if the law says I can, I announce right now I donated to the Dreyfuss Initiative and I gifted to the American public school system. And anyone who wants to use it can. And it's very, very easy and it's cost-free. It will cost you far less to use my initiative than it will be to sign another textbook cycle contract. I told you about the theater. I told you about the curriculum. I'll tell you one more. It's almost impossible to raise money for a curriculum, for a set of ideas. You know, people just don't want to write checks. And it's hard, but not impossible, to raise money for the arts. People have done that and will do it, but it's hard. But we have been offered 12.5 acres in Charlestown, West Virginia, which was the family home of the George Washington family. And his family has lived there ever since. All of his brothers. Walter Washington is living there now. They are constrained to sell that land only for the good of the community. And so, I found out that not then, when we wrote the Constitution, and not ever since then, has there ever been an institute for the upholding of Enlightenment values. Those values that permeate the Constitution, the Declaration, the Gettysburg Address, the Bill of Rights, and the Preamble. Which means that the creation of those documents is far more miraculous than anything you've ever thought about before. And Walter Washington wants to sell it to us for $1 million. It's worth 20 times that, easily. But we're going to establish the first institute to support Enlightenment values of reason and logic and clarity of thought and critical analysis, which have never been supported by scholarship since we signed the Constitution. So it's not really surprising that if we don't teach it in school, we don't know anything about it. But in fact, we owe Voltaire and Kant and Rousseau and Tom Paine an incredible debt of gratitude. And it's only 300 yards from the largest broadband cable in the eastern part of the country. We will have scholars in residence. We will have a library in one place, not only of Enlightenment literature, but it's an opposite number those who opposed it. And there's not a scholar in academia who won't want to be a scholar in residence because they're a spit away from DC and they can make a lot of money while they're scholars in residence. And we're going to have a publishing brand out of that institute. And I guarantee, again, this alone will lift the IQ level of the American public by 20%. Okay, that's 3 parts of a curriculum which I call an assault on enemy who has already declared war against us. Every bank, every mortgage company, every public official who has broken the law and whistled without any fear of accountability will be held with their feet to the fire once kids know they have the right and the authority. And they do. So, I at least will be able to say that I did whatever I could to save the greatest idea for governance in the history of mankind. There has never been a better idea, and it asks the same question that politics asks is the same question that all religions ask. How can people live together in some sense of decency and freedom and opportunity and mobility? And the answer is the same in religion or in politics. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That's what we have here. A working miracle. A working, practical miracle, unless we don't. Unless we trash it ourselves. Lincoln said, the only ones who will beat us is us. And I am speaking to you as successful Americans. I need your money. I need your brains. I need your thoughts to keep this alive, because there is, and you know there is, an active force working to bring down the liberties that we worked so hard to attain. I'm a Frank Capra American. I believe that America, with all of its sins and its commerce and all of its evils and all of its blunders, is the finest way that man has ever created, the most respectful to mankind than any other theory of governance. Don't blow it. Thank you.
This concludes part 6 of 6 of the presentation. To learn more about the Dreyfuss Initiative Foundation, visit thedreyfussinitiative.org. To learn more about the La Jolla Golden Triangle Rotary Club, visit lajollagtrotary.org. To learn more about Dan McLellan, the producer of this video, visit danmclellan.com.